The Man with Brown Eyes. I met the man and his son at a party. It was a book signing at my friend's house where I was staying overnight. A woman in her 50s came in the front door carrying a box of paperback books. With a grunt, she set the books on the table. She brushed her auburn hair from her eyes and frowned as she adjusted the pink paisley silk scarf around her neck. Tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, she said, "I thought it'd be all set up for me." Her emerald eyes reminded me of green moss after a winter's rain. Maybe she was wearing tinted contact lenses. "I don't see any wine," she said, pursing her red lips. "I specifically requested that." A yawn came over me, and I covered my mouth with a hand. I looked around for my friend, who was the host. She turned to me and put a hand on her hip. "Didn't you buy the wine like I asked? I can't lug the books and beverages." I held up my hands. "I'm just visiting. I'll get Phil. I don't know what he has planned." "Where are you from?" the woman said, arching a brow. "Millersville. I flew in from Paris today. I'm stopping here on my way home." She smiled. "I'd rather be in Paris than signing books this evening. How lucky for you." I waved across the room to Phil, who came over. She said, "The wine? Did you forget?" His face flushed and he tugged on his earlobe. "That's right, I did say I'd do that. I'll take care of it." He went out the door. Soon the three-story timbered chalet-like home was filled with people talking and laughing. Bottles of red wine and cheese and crackers covered a side table. But the main event, where partygoers were clustered, was around a round table in the living room where the author shook hands and signed books. The din of the party grew louder, and I moved into the shadows, hoping to find a quiet spot to rest. My body was on Paris time, but we were in the Pacific Northwest. A man in his 30s perched on a picnic bench and nodded to me. His brown eyes beckoned to me. I was drawn to him, not by lust, but by the essence of inner peace emanating from him. If only I could be as calm as I imagined he was. I went over to the mystery man and said hello. We talked for a while about books and how we knew Phil, the host. When I got up to make my way to the kitchen, he offered his hand. As we shook, a jolt of electricity zapped my palm. The current ran up my arm and jittered through my body. My head snapped back and my eyes opened wide. I studied my hand as if it was someone else's. It appeared the same, but something had happened. "That was odd," I said, looking into his eyes. He nodded. "I felt I could trust you. Not everyone understands." I excused myself and wandered to the kitchen. Seeking a place to rest, I sat on the floor in a corner and sipped a glass of water. A wave of fatigue swept over me. My eyes closed and I leaned against the wall. I wanted to sleep, but my bed was a fold-out couch in the room where the guests were sitting and laughing. I'd have to wait. 20 minutes later, I got up to mix with people. It wasn't polite to sit by myself during a friend's party, even though I was bone tired. When I made my way out of the kitchen, a young boy waved to me. He was sitting on a bench near the man whose touch gave me a jolt in an unusual encounter. "Hello," I said to the boy. "How old are you?" "8. Want to see what I can do?" The man who'd shaken my hand reached over and said to the boy, "Don't." The boy ignored him. He smiled at me and said, "Open your hand." I cocked my head. What was he up to? His deep brown eyes held my gaze. His mouth was open wide in a toothy grin. Because he was eager to show me something, I unfurled my fingers and held out my hand. The boy held up his index finger and touched my palm. A zap of low-voltage electricity radiated up my arm and spread through my body. I frowned. How was this possible? I said to the boy and the man, "You both can do this?" The boy grinned and his dark brown eyes glinted. His father looked into my eyes. "Will you tell our story? People need to understand." A shiver ran up my spine. I nodded. "Yes, I will. I'll tell your story."